Here's the second part of graphing that you need to be aware of. And it's not just graphing, but anytime you solve a system, here's another question that will be asked on the SOL as well as your test and quiz. Okay, it's how many solutions does your system have? Okay, how many? And remember what a solution is. The solution is the point of intersection. In other words, where they cross. So how many? Well, you have two lines, they cross in one spot. Okay, but you cannot have two lines cross in two spots because then you would have to bend the line. So you're never going to have two. Okay, you'll always have one. Well, it's not always. Let me show you a couple scenarios. All right, so here's the three scenarios that you need to kind of be aware of. Number one is the most popular. All right, it's the one that's going to happen the most. They cross somehow, some way. The two lines end up crossing. All right, two lines intersect. We say they have one solution because they only cross at one spot. That is the solution, one solution. So I want to make you aware that probably about 85% of your problems will do that. Okay, maybe even 90. Okay, but most of your problems will do that. And the way one hint, which you don't have to like study this or know this, but it is helpful. If you see that the lines have different slopes, they're going to cross. So if that number in front of x is different in both equations, they're going to cross. And I'm talking about after you put in slope intercept form, of course. Now, this you kind of already know. You know that parallel lines don't cross. Well, that means that they have no solution because they don't have a point where the two lines intersect. So this would be an example of no solution. Okay, you're probably going to have a good 10% of your problems will look like that. There'll be two lines that won't be in slope intercept form. After you put them in slope intercept form, you graph them, and you should notice that they have the same slope. The y-intercepts will be different. They'll have different start points on the y-axis, but the slopes will be the same. So they'll climb at the same steepness, and that means they won't cross. And then last but not least, you have two lines that land directly directly on top of each other when you graph them. The lines land in the same exact spot. Okay, so that's what we have here. Well, what we say there is that they have an infinite amount of solutions. This is what infinite solutions will look like. Okay, and that'll be that last 5%. This is when that will kick in. Okay, every single point on this line, all right, is a point of intersection. They're stacked directly on top of each other. So every point is a solution, every single point. Okay, one giveaway, if you're savvy enough to notice, is not only will they have the same slopes, but they'll also have the same y-intercepts, which means they're the same exact equation. Okay, so sometimes we'll do things like put one in slope intercept form and put the other one in standard form, and after you solve it and get y on the side by itself, you should know, hey, this is the same exact equation. So in no solution, the slopes match, but they have different y-intercepts. So the infinite solutions, it'll be the same exact equation. And in the top one, with one solution, it'll just be a different equation altogether. The slopes will be different. And we don't really care about the y-intercepts in that case. All right, so you should now be prepared to start your next assignment.